Aloha fam, hope all is well with you. Hope you experiencing the beauty in life, receiving it, grounding it, recreating it, representing it. What's the best for you? In this video, I'm gonna take a pretty strong stance on something that's gonna trigger some folks, but it's good. Another way of looking at trigger is something gets activated. So I wanna activate some things inside to initiate a process of healing and reconciliation. I take the stance that there is no such thing as toxic masculinity. There's no such thing. This is not to invalidate the damaging, dysfunctional ways in which people running a lot of masculine energy through their body behave. This is not to invalidate or dismiss or bypass that, but this is to get clear on what masculinity is. With that being said, there's no such thing as toxic femininity. No such thing. Masculinity is masculinity. Femininity is femininity. What people are referring to as toxic masculinity is unhealthy, leaky human behavior. That's an important distinction to make, because masculinity and femininity, these are the ways in which God moves. These are divine energies. There's only divine masculinity and divine femininity. That's it. And a lot of people have not done the inner work necessary to run these high voltage energies through their body in a way that's functional. A lot of people are running these high voltage energies through and they get stuck. And then the energy stagnates and the people begin to go unconscious and act in ways that are quote unquote toxic. And even I don't like using the word toxic because that means you can't get near it. You know, but I take the stance, I have the assumption that all of us are powerful creators. And we can respond to unhealthy behaviors in a way that's really healthy and supportive and functional. But it just takes training and skill and a community. So I don't even like using the word toxicity, like toxic anything when it comes to humans. I mean, yeah, I get it. There's some folks I don't want to be around. I get that. There's some folks I ain't got the skill level to handle. So they might as well be toxic because I ain't the one. You know what I mean? At the same time, you gotta look at what's functional. You know, where do we want to go? Where do we want to go together as a society, as men and women, as masculine and feminine beings? Where do we want to go? Where I want to go is towards harmony, weaving. I want to weave tantrically, synergize, find balance, listen to one another, dance. I'm trying to figure out that tango. How we gonna move together, right? I know if I'm walking around with the idea, with the lens on, like, okay, that's toxic. Okay, that's toxic. It's gonna throw off my ability to dance. Rather than saying this is toxic, I like to use the word, it's just unhealthy. Or look at the human, look at the person themselves and try to understand them. Where they coming from? Why they projecting their energy like that? Might be able to support them. That's a huge distinction though, man. It's, because at the end of the day, we walking around with the idea of toxicity, like toxic masculinity and toxic femininity, which will be hurting ourselves, keeping ourselves from really exploring masculinity and femininity. Once again, it's not those are just streams of consciousness, pure divine streams of consciousness. Those are the ways in which God moves in this realm, energetically. What we're referring to is human behavior. That's the thing to address. Not looking at it, we don't need to point the finger at masculinity. We need more masculinity in the world to hold the space for the feminine to move, to circulate, to paint, to shine, to create, to birth. The world needs more masculinity. And to label someone who is struggling in harnessing their masculinity or who is unconsciously wielding their masculinity as a toxic masculine, well, it's going to separate them from the tribe in a way that slows down progress and prevents the healing process. We're looking at human behaviors. And as someone who does a lot of work with humans as a conscious communication coach and transformational facilitator, I study human behavior. And I know I've been able to see and identify after talking with hundreds of people, identify what causes what. Why are people violent? Why do people wear masks to the point? How do people get over-identified with the role to the point where they become toxic? And to give it a real simple answer, what I found over and over and over and over and over again is the cause of all this toxic behavior, toxic human behavior, is unprocessed pain. People avoiding pain, simply put. And this is a habit we have collectively. Everybody's avoiding pain, avoiding pain, avoiding pain, avoiding pain. And pain is the gatekeeper to wisdom and awareness. Pain is the gatekeeper to wisdom, awareness, groundedness, humility. A lot of the qualities that we need in order to cohere, to match up, to synergize, to find harmony. A lot of those qualities are trapped behind a wall of pain. The finger don't need to be pointed at masculinity or femininity, right? But the heart and the eyes need to take a look at the pain that's present, or the pain that the individual who's behaving a particular kind of way is trying to suppress, and it's leaking out in an unconscious communication. No such thing as toxic masculinity or toxic femininity. It don't exist. Masculinity is masculinity. Femininity is femininity, and they're both divine and necessary for this entire reality to work. As a collective, I think it's important we extract our attention away from toxic masculinity and begin to redirect our attention and intention, our heart intention, towards the people who are just in pain. And if you don't know how to approach somebody who's in pain, if you don't know how to identify behaviors that are coming from a place of pain, find somebody who does, or get the skills. But judging people and condemning people for being a masculine or feminine being, it doesn't work.